inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you, 'cause real women don't bitch, no. Real women don't, 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 real women don't bitch.
Hey, thank you for joining me on the Real Women Don't Bitch podcast. This is your proud host, August Crenshaw, aka Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. I am the #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs because building mental muscle is necessary in order to implement successful business strategies. This show has been created for the woman who is not excuse-driven and needs help building a profitable business. I will be interviewing women from various fields who are willing to break the silence on struggles that specifically affect female entrepreneurs. Welcome to a show where I and guest speakers from time to time share our methods that help us beast our business no matter what is going on in our lives. Whether you are an online or brick and mortar business owner, this show is for you. We will hit every angle, personal, professional, and spiritual. Why? Because on any given day, you get hit with shit from a scenario involving one, more, or perhaps all of the above. It all impacts you and your mindset towards your business. I have made it my personal mission to provide a space where we dive deep into the BS we face on a day-to-day basis. All right now, queens and kings, what's going on? Welcome to the podcast again. Looking forward to talking to you guys. Things are going to continue to get more intense on this platform because the nature of events is just so radically different than anything we've ever experienced in our lifetime. And the way we have to move, the way we have to think, it needs to be drastically different. And so I did a video on Facebook yesterday, and I talked about how hope is the strategy that is used against Black people. Now, I'm going to be talking about money today. I know you saw the title of the podcast, and so you might be like, wait a minute, wait. What is she talking about? But y'all know me. I am going to go back and connect those dots, okay? And I know that I'm about to say some things in this podcast that are going to hurt some feelings and step on some toes. But once again, like I always say, listen through all the way and then draw your conclusions. And so, like I said, hope is the thing that is to the detriment of Black people. And that's because if we get a little bit of traction, then we begin to slow down. And so what I don't think a lot of us realize is that when Martin Luther King, Black Panthers, Malcolm X, and all of those other organizations that were out there working for us to have equality and to have, civil rights and all of that stuff, that the movement didn't end, it was shut down. There was a cease and desist order, and it was done in a very maniacal way by putting drugs into the community, murdering our leaders and things of that nature. But I think that there's a tendency for us as Black people to have this expectation that we have gotten something, so we should feel good. And right now we can't let up. So for instance, people are, excited. The protest happened and look at these things, they're going to ban chokeholds. And I plainly said on the Facebook Live video, hey, they got 101 other ways to kill us. It's a formality. I even had a conversation with a friend of mine who's ex-military who was talking about how they don't deal with the women that are being raped in the military, but they put it on paper. They put it on paper that you won't do this and that women are to be protected and respected just like men. And so a lot of that same thing is going to happen here. And so we can't get excited because companies are pledging millions or billions of dollars, making statements saying that they aren't going to tolerate this shit anymore. And, laws and legislations are changing. We're far from what we really deserve. And we're far from the treatment that we're supposed to experience just as being just a phenomenal race and group of people, some wonderful freaking human beings. And so
I don't think we realize that a lot of times we move in such a manner where hope is the driving force behind what we do. And so when that hope is fulfilled, we kind of fall back a little bit and we don't put as much energy towards it. And I know that a lot of that psychologically is rooted in fear, because as fast as we start something, we get knocked down. You know, the powers that be have the money and the control, and we seem like we can only get so far edgewise. But I do want to encourage you, because things are different. More of us are speaking up and standing up. And while all of us may not be out there protesting, there are many of us that are playing our part. You know, the work that's being done with the woman that coaches me around money, she's transforming my life in ways that I could have never imagined, just because of my knowledge and my relationship with money. You know, and so that right there is a movement in itself, because we've got to get to the point where we're not just basically begging. Okay, you may not like that, but protesting is basically, to me, I know that it's a forceful way of saying we ain't taking this shit, but you also got to think about it from this perspective. I want you to change something. So like a kid, mama, please, I want a chocolate. 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 I want a chocolate, till you give in and give them a piece of chocolate. And it's like, we want our rights. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. It's the same thing, but on an adult scale. And so when we actually have financial power, we ain't asking for shit. It's more of a demand. And listen to me. I don't know if you all are really internalizing the fact that you're still not demanding. You are requesting with an assertion of anger, being fed up and being tired. And so how do we get to this place where economically we are not such a disadvantage? We have to get out of the savings gimmick. And there's a queen that follows me, that's worked with me. And there are quite a few other people that I know in the financial sector. Listen, this is not about y'all. What I'm getting ready to say is not about y'all. But please understand that there are two things that are taught to people, and it's a poor man's game. And that's credit and savings. That's a poor man's game. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there's never a time for credit and you can't use it. And I'm not saying that you should never save. But for some reason, with a lot of Black people, we have this thing where we think that we're going to save our way to wealth. No one saves themselves to wealth. And when you do find about those rare occasions, they're an anomaly, and they live with virtually nothing, and they saved $1 a day. There's something about them that realized it ever since they was 15. And now here they are, they 50 and they got $1 million, and they still need to know where to put it at so that it don't disappear, yada, yada, yada. But other than that, nobody saves themselves to wealth, because savings automatically has a spirit of lack attached to it. When you think save, you know that you're putting it aside for something to take it away, whether it is a rainy day or a cruise. And I need you to wrap your head around that. Now more than ever, if you are tuning into this podcast, you need to get with someone who's going to raise your financial acuity, especially as it pertains to investing. But the whole concept of understanding what's going on with money is way deeper than just understanding what to do with stocks and stuff like that. And some of y'all might be like, August, wait a minute, what in the hell are you talking about? And why are you bringing this up? And people are choosing between paying their rent and buying food. And well, then if people choose between paying their rent and buying food, then where the fuck do they get the money to save? I mean, I really want you to think about that. If I was sitting here right now with $200 in my pocket and I knew that my electric bill was $100 and I had to go buy some groceries for $75 and then $25 going to go down to $2 for something else miscellaneous, and I know I got another bill coming next week. If I really understand what to do, I can say fuck all of those things except for the groceries. At least get the groceries, and maybe I can take it down from 75 to 45. I'm just going to be real select on what I get. You know, we're going to be doing some beans, and I'm just going to hold out just a little while longer and take the other money and go invest it literally in as little as 5 minutes, 24 hours. What if it took up to 1 week just to double that money, to then go back and then pay that bill, but then have the excess to reinvest? You know, so I heard a queen say this one day, and I know that she said it because she doesn't know. She's like, you shouldn't be invested in the stock market. You shouldn't be doing any of these things until you got 3 to 6 months worth of savings. Where are my people at? They got 3 to 6 months worth of savings setting to the side. And you tell me that if this pandemic gets any worse and you lose your job and they all of a sudden tell you that they've ran out of money to give and this lasts for 18 months, what are you going to do? Because have you all not realized that the economy is shot to shit, but the stock market is still thriving in comparison to it? Yes, the economy is shot to shit, but the stock market is still thriving. And so all I know is that growing up, all I heard was work hard, save, work hard, save. The closest I got to entertaining anything that was with investments was from me studying on my own, learning about Edward Jones, and then looking at companies and what they had to offer through a 401k. And there are some people that have some great success stories, but I challenge you all to find 10 people that you know. 10 people that you know who had 401ks they have retired or they've been letting it stack up for a while. And you look at the quality of their life. I know a woman right now who has multiple 6 figures in her 401k. She retired early and she is still robbing Peter to pay Paul because she is afraid to touch that money, because she doesn't want to pay any penalties. Her husband is working 2 jobs, 2 full-time jobs, is tired, is morbidly obese, and they are struggling. But they have the big house. They have the pretty cars. And so a lot of people that don't have the material things that they have may think that they have it going on. But when I know what's going on behind the scenes with the way that they're budgeting every penny that they got, they don't have a freedom. They are still chained. How many of you do know people that had that 401k, but then when the shit hit the fan with a job or whatever, and they didn't borrow against it because of something, frivolous, they had to pull money from it in order to be able to survive, that it basically was like a glorified savings account. And the way that they ran the game is when they first created it, they gave a lot of benefits. Most companies were matching dollar for dollar and stuff like that. You blessed if you find, a company like that. Now it's like, oh yeah, you put in this, but we might only match this, or, you have to have X amount of years before you fully vested, and all of this. It's a game. It's a gimmick. So the money that you call yourself wanting to save, if you have it in you and you have a little bit of a cushion, whether I don't care how much money it is, where you are able to save right now, in the process of saving, you need to get the knowledge so that you can know what to do with all that cash reserve, all the cash reserves that you've built up. And so what you may end up doing is realizing that as fast as you built that cash reserves up, you're going to have to spend it, because you're going to need someone to then direct you and help you. And not only that, it's your mind, baby. It's your mind. There are so many things that have happened to you. You are conditioned to look at money in a way that you don't even have the freedom to create wealth. You don't. I know you want to. I'm doing the work. And I thought I had some shit going on good for me. There are clients that have praised me for elevating their money mindset, but we evolve. We're not there. We are always going and growing. And the coach I got now is just like literally just taking me and blowing my fucking mind. So are you going to keep on believing the savings gimmick and let that be where you stop? You know what I'm saying? It's a start. It's something to do, because I don't want you to just arbitrarily just throw money into something, because then you'd be like, I listen to August and she kept on saying investing. And I went and opened up a Robinhood account, Acorn, because you ain't ready to be on the big boy platforms yet, like TD Ameritrade. And so then you go and you throw all your money away. And you like, now I have nothing. No, because I'm going to tell you something. When you are a seeker of knowledge and wisdom, when you realize that you deserve more, when your expectation grows, then all of the resources, they come to you. I'm living it on a whole nother level. So you got to learn to play the money game the way they play the money game. Because savings is just you hoping that everything will be okay. Hope is to our detriment. No, we're not hoping on anything. We are forcefully demanding that we live the life that we desire, which means that we are commanding it, because we're commanding our power with our money. We're not letting it sit idly and then hoping for a big break and for something to change. Hope in all forms, whether it's what's going on with the legal system or with hoping with something will change with the money system, hoping that the government will finally get a conscience and do something different. Please, the people that's pulling the strings is not the fucking government, and their maniacal asses never had any intention for any of this to ever change. It's not going to change. You heard the expression in too deep. The country, the way that it is, it's going to stay this way. It's not changing. It would have to implode. That's about it. But what you all fail to realize is that what's been instituted here in the United States is trickling throughout the world. That's why it's not called the new U.S. order. It's called the new fucking world order. So you got to ask yourself if you're being responsible with your money mindset. You got to ask yourself, are you making the right decisions to make sure that as fast as you accumulate money through your business, that you are also building wealth as well? Because otherwise, if you don't, the next 5 years, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. So I love you guys. I know that this is a difficult conversation. Definitely looking for some feedback. We're going to really dig into this in the Authentic Collective Academy. If you haven't joined there, you can go to www.aclive.co and let's have a dialogue around this. What are you thinking? How are you feeling? Even if you don't agree with me, let's talk about why you don't. We have to start having the hard conversations with each other and see what's going on and what we're thinking. And then if you tell me that you don't agree, then tell me what you've done and what is the answer. Tell me what you've done and what is the answer. Because we can't just keep on saying, oh, no, like that, I don't think that's going to work. But then you don't have an alternative solution. What you really need to say is what I'm doing don't work, but I'm scared as fuck to do what you said, August. And so I just am going to sit here and not do anything or continue to do what I was doing and then be in a state of insanity of doing the same thing and expecting a different result. But let's start having the conversations, because see, people will tell you who they slept with. Look, y'all know me. Let me use the F word. People tell you who they fuck, but they won't tell you about their finances. How about you stop letting me know who you've been in the bed with, and let's start getting in bed together about this money, honey. All right. I love you guys. I'm out of here. Deuces.
Thank you for joining me today. Remember to cultivate a mindset that is biased towards taking action. No bitching, whining, or complaining. Here, our mantra is, real women don't bitch, we get shit done. See you next week as I continue to bring you what you need to keep your head in the game and beast your business. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Would you like a specific topic covered? Have a question you would like answered live? Then head on over to realwomendon'tbitchpodcast.com. Subscribe to my email list, hit me up, and I got you. Interested in being a guest speaker? You walk the walk? Then you can sign up on the website too. This is your #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs, Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. Signing out. Deuces.
Inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you.